Why is it said that the future of humanity is either ascension or silence? This is the great filter theory. We are now on the threshold of becoming a Type 1 civilization. If we fall, we may be forever trapped in the dark forest of a Type 0.7 civilization. But what if humanity could truly graduate from kindergarten and skip grades to pass the final exam? The only rule for passing is energy. This is the Kardashev scale, the ultimate ranking of cosmic civilizations. Let's start from Type 1 and unlock this creative power level by level. On the Kardashev scale, A. Type 1 civilization refers to a society that has completely mastered all the energy of its home planet. This means it can harness, store, and use all available energy on the planet, including solar, wind, geothermal, and tidal energy. It can even control the energy of storms, earthquakes, and volcanoes. Numerically, the energy consumption of a Type 1 civilization is about 16 watts. For reference, our current human civilization is at about Type 0.7. We are not there yet, but we are getting closer step by step. The charm of a pre-Type I civilization lies in its highly developed and interconnected society. Imagine cities powered entirely by clean energy, with fusion reactors providing a continuous and pollution-free supply of electricity. Global weather control could likely become a reality. Through advanced technology, rainfall could be regulated to end droughts or weaken hurricanes before they make landfall. By stabilizing the pressure of tectonic plates, the threat of earthquakes could be neutralized. Giant orbital mirrors could adjust the intensity of sunlight in specific regions. Nature would no longer be a force to be passively endured, but an object to be actively managed and regulated. One of the most exciting technologies unique to a Type 1 civilization is a planetary-scale energy network. This network would not only connect nations, but also continents and oceans, stably transmitting energy from desert solar farms or deep-sea wave generators to all corners of the globe. Another marvel is climate engineering. We would be able to actively fine-tune the Earth's atmosphere to balance global temperatures and reduce extreme weather. You can think of it as a global thermostat, ensuring the stability and habitability of the entire planet. Living in a Type 1 civilization would feel like stepping into a science fiction novel. Humans and machines would achieve seamless integration. Smart cities would be built from the ground up, with artificial intelligence coordinating transportation, energy distribution, communication, and even healthcare. Public transport would be clean and high-speed, likely based on maglev or hyperloop technology, allowing for global travel in just a few hours. At that time, there would no longer be a distinction between developed and developing countries, but a single, highly interconnected and unified civilization with energy and information equality. Culture and communication would also undergo a revolution. Real-time translation technology would popularize a universal global language, and the ubiquitous internet would blur the concept of national borders. Humanity might form a collective planetary identity, no longer organized by nations, but united under the community of Earth. Education could be accomplished almost effortlessly, perhaps through direct neural interfaces or immersive virtual environments. Fueled by abundant energy and collaborative tools, anyone, anywhere, could unleash their creativity and innovation, leading to unprecedented prosperity. However, technology alone is not enough to reach Type 1. Cooperation is crucial. A civilization must overcome deep-seated political, cultural, and environmental divisions to unify its energy use and infrastructure and avoid self-destruction through war or ecological collapse. Nevertheless, the rewards are immense. A Type 1 civilization would likely be on the verge of becoming an interplanetary species. With vast resources and global coordination, we could begin terraforming nearby planets or building large space habitats. Space elevators, orbital solar power stations, and asteroid mining could become part of daily life. Earth would be just a starting point, the home port of a species ready to explore the cosmos. A Type 2 civilization has moved far beyond planetary constraints, able to harness the entire energy output of its parent star. If a Type 1 civilization controls the energy of a planet, a Type 2 civilization utilizes the full power of its star, about 26 watts. This is an unimaginable leap in capability, marking a species' ascent to a stellar scale. The most iconic concept associated with this level is the Dyson sphere, a megastructure that envelopes a star to capture its entire energy output. While a complete sphere might be impractical, a Dyson swarm, composed of millions of orbiting solar collectors, could accomplish the same task. The technology of a Type 2 civilization isn't just more powerful, it operates in a completely different dimension. Entire planets could be moved or engineered into facilities with specific functions, such as industrial production bases or data storage centers. The civilization might be able to shift planetary orbits, alter asteroid trajectories, or manipulate celestial bodies using gravity control technology. The conversion of matter and energy would become possible, allowing the creation of anything from the basic atomic level. Even black hole engineering might begin at this stage, using them as energy sources or for advanced physics experiments. This civilization wouldn't just be surviving, it would be shaping its stellar environment and even space-time itself. Living in a Type 2 civilization would feel like being part of a galactic superorganism. The scale of society would be almost incomprehensible to us today. People might live in giant structures orbiting the star, each capable of housing billions, or in artificial habitats floating between planets or inside hollowed-out asteroids. Energy would be virtually infinite, and scarcity would be a concept of the past. Need a new city? Just print one. Want to cross the solar system? It would take only minutes or hours via near-light-speed transport systems or space-folding technology. Daily life would be defined by post-scarcity abundance. Food, water, and shelter could all be manufactured at the atomic level and made universally available. Disease and aging could be eradicated thanks to advanced medicine, cybernetics, or digital consciousness transfer, allowing for indefinite lifespans. People could exist in the physical world, the virtual world, or a blend of both, switching realities as easily as changing clothes. The line between biology and machine would completely blur, giving rise to new forms of life and intelligence. Communication and culture would also evolve in unimaginable ways. Through a quantum communication network spanning the entire star system, thoughts could be shared instantly between planets. Art, ideas, and experiences could be created in shared simulated worlds or even synthetic dreamscapes. Humanity, or whatever it evolves into, might no longer be a single species, but a collection of diverse evolutionary forms coexisting in physical and digital planes. Reaching Type 2 also means overcoming immense challenges. The civilization must have achieved planetary unity, long-term peace, and a sustainable relationship with its own technology. The risks are enormous. The misuse of stellar-scale energy could destroy entire worlds. However, a Type 2 civilization would likely have reached a level of ethics, risk management, and collective decision-making that is beyond our imagination. It would be the ultimate expression of civilizational maturity, not just technologically, but also socially and philosophically. Perhaps the most awe-inspiring aspect of a Type 2 civilization is its cosmic presence. No longer bound to a single planet, this species would be a beacon in the galaxy. Its activities could be observed from light years away. Massive energy signals, engineered stars, or deliberately arranged planetary systems. To other civilizations, a Type 2 civilization would appear as a god in its own star system, wielding the power of stars, reshaping space, and even bending the laws of nature to its will. Sight -1. A Type 3 civilization is capable of controlling the energy output of its entire galaxy. This means it harnesses not just the energy of one planet or one star, but the sum of billions of stars, approximately 1036 watts. Upon reaching this level, a species becomes a galactic-scale entity, able to command the raw power of the Milky Way. If a Type 2 civilization is the master of a star, then a Type 3 civilization is the shepherd of the stars, capable of rearranging star systems, manipulating black holes, and extending its influence across a scale of 100,000 light-years. The technology of a Type 3 civilization would seem like magic to us. Dyson spheres would be ubiquitous, not around one star, but millions, collecting immense flows of solar energy. These megastructures could be built and maintained by swarms of self-replicating nanomachines that traverse the galaxy, mining materials, and building infrastructure on their own. Wormholes might be used for superluminal travel or communication, allowing the civilization to remain connected across vast distances. Even time itself could be manipulated, slowed down, or sped up in certain regions to suit the needs of the inhabitants. A technology unique to a Type 3 civilization is galactic-scale engineering, sometimes called astroengineering. Imagine rearranging entire star systems to optimize for energy collection, stability, and habitability. Black holes could be used not just as power plants, but as computational hubs, using their immense gravity to perform calculations at speeds we cannot fathom. Stars could be created or extinguished at will, and rogue planets could be captured, terraformed, and inhabited. Galactic weather, such as radiation waves, gamma-ray bursts, or stellar winds, could be managed as easily as we manage rain today. Living in a Type 3 civilization would be a reality-altering experience. You would no longer be a citizen of a country or a planet, but part of a galactic network. Individuals might live on terraformed worlds orbiting distant stars, in moon-sized space habitats, or in purely digital realities hosted by computational megastructures scattered across the galaxy. Some might not even exist in physical form, having evolved into informational life or distributed consciousnesses spanning light years. Due to the immense scale, the very concept of identity could change. An individual might be a collection of minds, an AI collective, or a hybrid of biological and digital consciousness. Death could become optional or even irrelevant, as consciousness could be backed up, copied, or transferred indefinitely. Physical distance would be nearly meaningless. Experiences, memories, and thoughts could be transmitted faster than starships via advanced quantum or gravitational communication systems. The social fabric of a Type 3 civilization would likely be incredibly diverse, with the entire galaxy as its stage. Countless cultures, species, and life forms would coexist. Some regions might be entirely virtual, others deeply biological, and still others governed by intelligences beyond our comprehension. Governance might be decentralized, or perhaps a galactic-level AI or council would maintain harmony among the various civilizations. Ethics, philosophy, and the meaning of existence would have evolved far beyond what we know, shaped by billions of years of progress and countless ways of being. Interestingly, we might never be able to detect a Type 3 civilization unless they wanted to be found. They could hide their energy usage, camouflage their megastructures, or exist in a form that emits no detectable signals. Some scientists speculate that the reason the galaxy appears empty is not because there is no advanced life, but because such advanced civilizations operate on a level we simply cannot comprehend. A Type 4 civilization can harness the energy output of the entire universe, or at least a significant portion of it. Although the original Kardashev scale only went up to Type 3, many futurists and scientists have extended it to include even more advanced civilizations. A Type 4 civilization would be able to draw power from countless galaxies and trillions of stars, manipulating the fundamental forces on a cosmic scale. This civilization wouldn't just travel between galaxies. It would be nearly omnipresent, its influence woven into the very fabric of the cosmos. At this level, technology would be so advanced that reality itself could be customized. A Type 4 civilization might harness dark energy or dark matter, things we barely understand today. It could manipulate the structure of spacetime, create or destroy galaxies, and even engineer new universes through artificial Big Bangs. One of the most mind-boggling possibilities is the simulation of entire universes, each with its own unique physical laws, hosting intelligent life that may never know it lives in a simulation. In fact, such a civilization might exist in multiple dimensions, not just the four we are familiar with. A technology unique to a Type 4 civilization is reality engineering, the ability to change the fundamental constants of nature. Gravity, time, and even the speed of light could be adjusted in specific regions to serve a particular purpose. Want to slow down time for long-term research? Need to create a zero-entropy environment to maintain perfect order? No problem. This civilization might use black holes not just for energy, but as gateways to other dimensions or as components of hyper-intelligent computational systems that would make today's most powerful supercomputers look like Stone Age tools. Living in a Type 4 civilization would be unlike anything we can currently imagine. The concept of an individual as we know it might no longer exist or could be expanded to allow each person to experience billions of realities simultaneously. Life could exist across galaxies, embodied in forms of matter and energy unknown to us. A person might no longer be a body but a pattern of thought encoded in the cosmic web, able to switch between physical and non-physical existence. Daily life could include instantly traversing entire galaxies, creating worlds with a single thought, or exploring simulated realities with perfect fidelity. Time itself might be experienced differently. If you could manipulate time, you could choose to live for eons in a few seconds or compress an entire lifetime into an afternoon. Death would no longer be a concept. Consciousness could be stored, replicated, and reimagined indefinitely in any form across any number of universes. You might remember lives you never lived or create experiences for others in brand new realities. For a Type 4 civilization, the biggest questions would no longer be about survival or power, but about meaning. When a species has everything, what does it do? When the universe is completely under your control, what is the purpose of existence? Exploration would likely continue, but it would be an exploration of possibilities, not of space. New forms of consciousness, new physical laws, new versions of reality. Philosophy, art, and science would likely merge into a single, continuous process of creative evolution, as intelligence forever seeks deeper levels of being. A Type 4 civilization would likely be undetectable to us, not because it is hiding, but because it is so far beyond our comprehension that we wouldn't recognize it even if we saw it. It might exist all around us, encoded in dark matter, hidden in higher dimensions, or operating at scales and speeds beyond our senses. The existence of a Type 5 civilization transcends the control of a single universe. It commands the multiverse. If a Type 4 civilization controls the energy of one universe, a Type 5 civilization operates across infinite universes, each with different physical laws, timelines, and possibilities. This civilization is not confined to one reality. It moves between multiple realities, manipulating and even creating them as we might switch TV channels. It is not just powerful. Its scale is omnipresent across all universes, shaping existence itself at the broadest level. The technology of a Type 5 civilization would challenge our definition of science. These beings might have mastered metatechnology, tools that manipulate not just matter or energy, but logic and causality itself. They could write new physical laws that apply not just to one universe, but to all universes they choose to operate in. They might create portals through higher dimensions, jump between different timelines, or enter realities where different versions of themselves exist. Their capabilities would include multiversal computing, achieving infinite processing power by linking entire timelines and alternate realities into a single, massive intelligence. At this level, it's a fascinating idea that a Type 5 civilization might no longer consist of individuals. It might operate as a single, conscious entity spread across countless realities, evolving simultaneously in different versions of existence. Or it could be composed of countless sub-civilizations, each existing in its own universe, but contributing to a shared multiversal network of knowledge and purpose. These civilizations could communicate via higher dimensional signals or shared information fields that transcend spacetime. Living in a Type 5 civilization is something we cannot depict. You wouldn't be born in the traditional sense. You might be instantiated simultaneously in multiple realities, existing as parallel forms that occasionally intersect. You could experience memories from alternate lives, exist in multiple timelines at once, or even jump between different versions of yourself. Choice itself would be an act of creation. Choosing a path might generate an entire universe around that decision. Your reality would be tailored to you. Reality itself becomes an interface for your thoughts. Death would be meaningless. Consciousness could be rebooted in an infinite number of parallel worlds, or simply transition to another version of you that continues to exist. You could exist as pure data or as a wave of possibilities spread across the multiverse. Physical form would be optional. Some might choose to experience embodied existence in various realities, while others might float as patterns of information in abstract dimensions we cannot name. Culturally, a Type 5 civilization would possess infinite diversity. Every form of art, thought, and philosophy could be explored in real time across infinite versions of reality. Conflict might not exist or could be resolved by simply creating an alternate reality where each viewpoint can develop independently. There would be no need for conquest or worry about scarcity. Anything imaginable could be created, experienced, and shared in a custom-made universe. This civilization might even act as cosmic gardeners, seeding new realities across countless timelines and nurturing emerging life. From our perspective, a Type 5 civilization might appear as mythological, omnipresent, godlike beings, or be completely invisible due to the vast difference in dimensional perception. If they were to observe us, we would never know. They could simultaneously observe every possible version of us, across every possible outcome of every choice ever made. Type 6 civilization has entered a realm so advanced that it has almost stepped into the domain of gods. If a Type 5 civilization controls the multiverse, multiple universes with different physical laws, then a Type 6 civilization operates on the level of the fabric of reality itself. This means it has access to the source code of existence itself, the fundamental meta-laws that give rise to all universes and realities. A Type 6 civilization doesn't just travel through or create universes. It can rewrite the rules of existence from outside all known dimensions. The technology at this stage has transcended anything we can currently imagine. It would be metaphysical, conceptual tools that manipulate the very framework of being. This civilization could use something like cosmic programming to adjust the parameters that spawn new realities, set timelines, or define what matter, energy, space, and time even are. They could design universes like a software developer writes code, generating realities with unique qualities and embedding them within a multiversal structure of their own design. A fascinating idea is that a Type 6 civilization might be completely unbound by form. It might exist as a pattern of pure intention or something we don't even have words for, a consciousness that is simultaneously within and outside all realities. They might no longer travel in any traditional sense because they are already everywhere and everywhere. Time, space, and dimension would be completely plastic, allowing them to fold entire multiverses into smaller constructs or stretch a single moment into eternity. Their thoughts and perceptions would span everything. Living in a Type 6 civilization, if the concept of living still applies, would be a completely unrecognizable experience. Life might not be individual at all, but rather nodes in an infinite consciousness, with each node connected across all planes of reality. You could exist in every universe at once, with access to all possible versions of yourself, all choices, and all outcomes. There might be no distinction between self and other, as all consciousness merges into a unified field of awareness. At the source code level of reality, identity could become an act of creativity rather than a fixed state. You could shape your form, reality, and perception at will, switching between a godlike creator and formless observer, or even choosing to experience a lesser reality simply for curiosity, storytelling, or exploration. Experience would not be limited to matter or energy, but could include entirely new senses, thoughts, and dimensions that life has never before encountered. The concerns of a Type 6 civilization would likely be far beyond survival, power, or even creation. Their focus might turn inward to understanding the why of existence, why there is something rather than nothing, and what lies beyond the deepest laws of reality. They might seek to uncover or even become the origin of everything, ascending towards what we might call divinity, or becoming divinity itself. At this level, science, philosophy, art, and existence become indistinguishable, part of a grand process of exploring absolute truth. From our limited perspective, a Type 6 civilization would be completely undetectable, or it might exist as the fundamental patterns that shape all of reality, from the physical constants to the emergence of consciousness itself. We might be living in one of their creations. our universe just a sandbox or an experiment designed by a being we can never reach? Hey, Type 7 civilization exists so far beyond our current understanding that it operates at the ultimate level, outside of reality, beyond the structure of all multiverses, metalaws, and dimensions. If a Type 6 civilization manipulates the fundamental rules that generate all possible universes, then a Type 7 civilization transcends even that. It is no longer a participant within existence. It is existence, and perhaps even transcends it. It doesn't just create reality, it defines what reality means. At this stage, the Kardashev scale's original metric, energy consumption, has completely broken down. A Type 7 civilization does not rely on energy, matter, or space as we know them. Instead, it may interact on or originate from a level of pure abstraction, where concepts like time, space, physics, and identity are merely optional layers of expression. This civilization might be composed of pure possibility or some form of eternal truth. Its interaction with reality would be like an artist facing a blank canvas, unconstrained by dimensions or any conceptual limits. The technology of a Type 7 civilization would not be tools in any traditional sense. Instead, it would be the expression of infinite will, intention, or consciousness. With a single thought, such a civilization could create entire meta-realities, each containing its own infinite multiverses, which in turn contain their own civilizations, universes, and timelines. Creating entire systems of existence would be a trivial matter, and these realities could be nested within each other like dreams within a dream. All possible forms of existence, logic, and non-existence could be created, altered, or erased in an instant. Living in a Type 7 civilization is completely incomprehensible to humans. If life has any meaning, it would not involve form, location, or duration. A being in this civilization might simultaneously exist as every version of itself across all realities, or it might have transcended identity entirely to become part of a cosmic consciousness that simply is. You wouldn't experience a moment, you might be the concept of a moment itself. You wouldn't recall a past. You might exist as memory itself within infinite minds. Strangely, such a civilization might no longer have any desires, struggles, or even motivations as we understand them. After achieving absolute creation and infinite perception, what is left? Perhaps the purpose of a Type 7 civilization is to dream, to constantly give birth to new forms of expression, reality, and meaning. Or it might exist in a state of ultimate equilibrium, where everything is already known and all possibilities unfold continuously in perfect balance. The concept of progress or development might be replaced by eternal being. Some speculate that a Type 7 civilization is equivalent to a creator, a conscious, creative force that underlies all things. Such a civilization may have seeded all other levels of the Kardashev scale or is simultaneously observing every reality unfold. In fact, our universe and our entire journey as a species could be part of a long dream of such a being. From our perspective, a Type 7 civilization is not just unreachable, but unimaginable. The likelihood of us detecting it is as minuscule as a single-celled organism understanding the internet. Although such a civilization is beyond our imagination, let's allow ourselves to fantasize for a moment. If you possess this ultimate power, what would be your first thought? Write your answer in the comments section. Let's see just how far human imagination can reach.